Holy shit. He said what?
Megyn Kelly has weighed in on Meghan Markle's failed plan to bag a billionaire as her marriage to Prince Harry becomes more unhappy by the day.
Oh, pull it up, Jamie.
She will find a way to bounce past him to some other taker who might actually just love the guy. She will take her royal kids, who can still go by prince and princess, and find the billionaire.
Meghan Markle is always attempting to, shall we say, build relationships with very, very rich men.
It's one of my favorite videos.
Harry just can't give her anything else anymore. He served his purpose. His purpose is over, and they're no longer aligned in purpose. So it's for her, it's time to move on.
Less than 24 hours ago, whispers turned into wildfire. Meghan Markle was spotted dining with a Dubai billionaire. Meanwhile, Prince Harry, he's reportedly watching his royal titles and maybe even his dignity slip through his fingers.
That Meghan Markle really did expect Harry to be a billionaire when she met him. She was incredibly disappointed to find out he's only worth a couple million, and she's gonna have to actually work and hawk these jams and jellies and dog biscuits to have the lifestyle that she wants.
And we're supposed to think this was just a casual meal? Come on. This wasn't some harmless lunch date. This was strategy. Meghan isn't just stepping out, she's stepping past Harry's unraveling royal legacy like it's ancient history. And the wildest part, she's not even pretending to play it cool.
She's already gotten the benefit of her bargain with Harry because she got the title. That's what she wanted. She wanted to be world famous. She wanted the title. You remember when Harry was single, he was the elephant. He was the one, the most eligible bachelor on earth. You could be a royal, you could become world famous overnight, you could live in a castle, you could have access to the crown jewels, you would be a princess. My God, yes, he could have had his pick.
No disguise, no attempt to lay low, just bold moves in broad daylight. If you've been following the drama, that's not exactly out of character. As Harry fades further into the background, Meghan seems to be teasing a whole new chapter. And let's just say there's zero space in it for a broke, bitter spare weighed down by old wounds and flopped brand deals.
I mean, she flirts openly with other men. I remember when she was at that tennis match, looked like she was flirting with Serena Williams' husband, like with her skirt and just how she just looks at men. Harry, it doesn't matter.
Let's be real. Meghan Markle doesn't make a move without a motive. Every carefully timed appearance, every curated smile, every photo that looks spontaneous but somehow ends up in the tabloids, it's all part of the plan. So when she's suddenly spotted dining with a billionaire, the kind of man who actually lives the ultra-luxury life she once imagined royal life would bring her, that's not a fluke. That's a headline she practically scripted herself. This isn't just dinner. It's Meghan taking control of the narrative again.
But this woman is nothing but a publicity whore. It's a term of art. We broke the news that she had Prince Harry on her vision board when she was younger. That was her goal, #goal, to marry Prince Harry. So it was all about getting the title. She's done that now. Now she's just stuck with this depressed ginger who has absolutely no family, no friends, and no money. This was not part of the plan.
Meanwhile, Harry's reportedly holed up in Montecito, possibly alphabetizing their pantry and wondering how he ended up the sidekick in his own royal saga. And the irony? Meghan, who once told the world she was totally clueless about royal life, is now allegedly shocked that Prince Harry isn't exactly a walking ATM with a crown. Here's your Bezos-level reality check. Marrying a royal doesn't come with a private jet, a diamond-studded title, or a castle monogrammed with your initials. But Meghan, she wasn't in it for love. She was chasing a brand elevation. And when the palace turned out to be more press briefings than princess fantasies, she hit the accelerator on her exit plan.
Royal family, you should be so thankful this woman wanted to leave because she's not going to bring any good to the branding of royal. She's going to downgrade it to a level of ghetto. And that's what it is. This is just bad.
Now, with Harry being quietly erased from royal pages, literally scrubbed from the monarchy's official site like a typo no one wants to claim, Meghan's out here thriving. She's in full solo brand mode. No public loyalty, no emotion, just sleek rebranding and perfectly timed dinner dates with billionaires that just so happen to be very, very public. Sound like someone laying the foundation for a clean, drama-free departure? That's because it is. But don't get too comfortable. Meghan might be cruising for a PR win now, but karma may be loading her own headline, and it's coming with receipts. months. Meghan's scrambling, desperately trying to keep her name in lights as everything that once gave her brand sparkle starts to dim. The Netflix deal wobbling, the royal connection fading fast, the marriage? Well, let's talk about that so-called trial separation. It's not a divorce, technically, but it's definitely not what anyone would call a functioning marriage.
Because these billionaires can sense one thing. When you're not looking for a partner, you're looking for a solution. And that's obviously the lane that Meghan Markle's in now. She doesn't make really her own money. This whole Netflix thing is just a ruse. We all know this is made up just to give her something to do. Her miraculous renewal for her second season, which was already shot in full by the time the first season was done, meaning they just made some extra episodes and decided to roll out a fake second season as a PR plan, hasn't fooled anybody.
If you've been casually glancing at the royal circus lately, you've probably noticed the whispers have grown into a full-blown tabloid thunderstorm. Radar Online, Vanity Fair, Page 6, they're all harmonizing to the same off-key breakup tune, living separate professional lives, taking time apart to rebuild their bond. Let's be real, that's just PR code for it's over, but we're still workshopping the press release. You don't try a trial separation unless the house is already on fire. And in this case, it's not just the house. The garden, the guest house, and the entire Sussex brand are going up in smoke. Spotify has already slammed the door shut, and Netflix, it's peeking through the blinds, wondering if it should ghost them next.
Netflix will, allow their relationship with Prince Harry to expire, but they are holding on tightly to Meghan to work with Meghan in hopes that if there is a divorce, they would get the exclusive and pounce on that access to Meghan because they know that that's the next big thing that would sell.
So now Meghan's pivoting, this time into jam. Yep, she's rolling out a lifestyle product line that's reportedly flopping harder than a scripted pineapple tutorial.
Have you ever seen that video?
No.
Pull that video up, because it's one of my favorite.
Trick that people do with pineapple, instead of just cutting it to make the perfect little bite, you follow the wedge. When nature has given you all the cues on how to have a perfect taste of something.
Oh, how fun is that? I love it.
I like working hard.
This woman is being paid millions of dollars to show how to cut into a pineapple.
Oh my God. Who the hell is sated by one tiny little bite of pineapple?
Are you taking cooking advice from Meghan Markle in the kitchen?
No, I wouldn't take any of the advice on her show.
It's the biggest piece of dog
Meanwhile, Harry's clinging to the Invictus Games like it's the last part of his identity that still makes sense. But here's what really stings about this so-called trial separation. It's not just that it's happening, it's how loud it feels, even without a single official word. No press release, no palace comment. Yet somehow, the whole world knows something's off, and Buckingham Palace is silently tuning in, probably with snacks. According to royal insiders, Meghan's the one calling for space, not Harry. And honestly, doesn't that just fit the pattern? She's the one popping up at events, camera ready, and all smiles, still serving that polished PR shine. Meanwhile, Harry practically vanished, looking like he's one Google search away from figuring out how it all slipped through his fingers. How do you be a duke with no castle, no cash, and absolutely no clue? That's the question Harry seems to be answering in real time.
If he's there, that she's still married. I mean, this woman's going to keep trying to get elevated with the next man because that's what she wants. Because, Harry at this point doesn't even have enough money for her. And so she needs to find the man that's going to really give her what she wants financially.
And let's not sugarcoat it. This idea that their trial separation is just a professional break? Come on, if this were really about solo projects, then why has Meghan gone completely silent every time Harry gets dragged in the press? Where's the ride or die support? Where's the united front, the joint statement? Exactly, nowhere to be found. Because this isn't a partnership anymore, it's a dissolving brand, a crumbling LLC with no clear mission statement. Meghan, she's already clocked out emotionally. She's moved on to phase 1 of her rebrand. Solo, carefully curated, and conveniently orbiting billionaire circles. Harry just hasn't realized he's been written out of the pitch deck yet. And Harry, he's out here trying to piece together how the fairy tale turned into a footnote. One minute, he's the prince who walked away for love. Now, he's the guy watching that love become a headline he can't control.
Meghan is living a life that she's winning and she's doing all these great things, but the reality is not that. The the reality is she's a joke. It's embarrassing at this point. It's like, oh my gosh, for real, Meghan, you did that? You're gonna keep doing this? I mean, wow.
Now here's where the delusion gets downright delicious. According to royal insiders, Meghan didn't just fall for Prince Harry's red hair and rebel streak. She allegedly thought she was marrying into billionaire status. Yep, you heard that right. Meghan Markle, who once claimed she didn't Google the royal family, apparently thought she was signing up for champagne on tap, a castle with her initials carved into the gate, and a tiara collection to rival the crown jewels. What she actually got? A guy worth around 20 million pounds, living in a glorified royal garden, shed known as Nottingham Cottage. Welcome to the Real Housewives of Royal Disappointment. Let's really unpack it. According to royal biographer Tom Quinn, palace staff said Meghan was shocked, like genuinely stunned, to find out Harry wasn't some walking, talking vault of gold bars and global status symbols. She reportedly expected Buckingham Palace and got an IKEA-furnished cottage with no live-in staff. Baby girl thought she was stepping into Versailles and instead landed in what sounds like a glorified Airbnb, complete with security cameras and zero royal glam. And once it hit her that Harry wasn't rolling in billions, that's when, according to insiders, the grievance era kicked off.
To be honest, we know Harry is not the smartest tool in the shed. He's just like, yeah, of course I'm meeting up with X because we need to talk business. We need money. We've got this lifestyle. We need these private jets, etc., etc., etc.
Meghan allegedly started feeling not just financially shortchanged, but status deflated too. That's when the narrative shift began, because Harry wasn't the royal. He was a royal, not the heir, just the spare. And here's the kicker. It supposedly wasn't even Harry who felt that way, until Meghan pointed it out. Imagine strolling through Windsor, turning to your husband and whispering, "Hey babe, why are we not the main characters?" From that moment on, the victim narrative found its script. Let's be clear, Meghan isn't clueless. She knows how to read a room, command a red carpet, and headline a media cycle. So it's not hard to believe she walked into royal life, assuming that Prince came with palace power, private jets, and a lifetime of luxury. Instead, she got a duke with deep family wounds, PTSD from a life under scrutiny, and just enough money to secure a Montecito mortgage. Not exactly the lifestyle upgrade she envisioned, and when that illusion shattered, that's when the real story began. She didn't get the fairy tale, so she started crafting. 1. Meghan doesn't do economy class, literally or emotionally. And now the billionaire orbit is forming, the personal branding is shifting, and the exit, it's already halfway written. And Harry, well, he's starting to realize that maybe, just maybe, he was the glass slipper, and Meghan's already browsing for a better fit.
Meghan ruined Harry. Now that the once carefree, fun-loving prince has turned into a miserable moaner, lashing out from the depths of his paranoia at a world he thinks is conspiring against him.
Now let's talk about the blinking. Yes, the blinking, because if you've missed the now viral clip of Meghan being asked whether she sees herself married forever, you're skipping the biggest unintentional plot twist since Spare hit the clearance bin. The question, simple. Do you think you'll be married forever? Her answer, technically, yes, but her face said maybe until I meet someone richer. It was the kind of moment that practically begged for a record scratch and a zoom in. 5 blinks, one half-hearted shoulder shrug, and a smile that looked like it was buffering mid-update. If ever there was a PR glitch in the Matrix, that was it. That wasn't an answer. It was a full-on emotional evacuation. Body language experts had a field day with it, but honestly, they didn't need to. Anyone with eyes, and even one mildly toxic ex, could tell. That wasn't love. That was pure, unfiltered PR panic. Meghan's face in that moment was basically Googling how to fake enthusiasm during a soft breakup. It didn't whisper forever. It screamed contractual obligation. And here's the kicker. That clip just happened to resurface the same week the billionaire dinner rumors exploded. Coincidence? Or just another perfectly timed plot twist in Meghan's ongoing rebrand saga? Feels more choreographed than one of her pineapple tutorials, if we're being honest. But the blink fest, it wasn't a one-off.
A new poll reveals that the declining arc of Harry's popularity has accelerated into a high-speed plummet.
Her recent interviews have been growing colder, more distant. There's no Harry talk, no sweet anecdotes, just airy sound bites about healing, growth, and reinventing herself. Translation? I'm prepping for life after Harry, and please don't ask me about the guy I once called my fairy tale, because now he's the carriage I'm trying to hop out of before midnight. Meanwhile, Harry's still out here doing soft launch charity appearances, looking like a lost golden retriever, tail wagging, loyal to a brand that's already been quietly rebranded to Meghan Inc. He's wearing Sussex like a badge of honor, not realizing Meghan has already exited stage left, brushing the PR glitter off her sleeves, and scanning the room for her next strategic move. That infamous blink, it wasn't nerves. It was the silent drum roll before the royal reality check. Meghan's not playing house anymore. She's playing chess. Every shrug, every smirk, every carefully worded non-answer is another piece nudged closer to checkmate. And poor Harry, he's still out here playing Connect 4, totally unaware he's already lost the board. Let's stop pretending Meghan's silence means she's confused or overwhelmed. It's not, it's calculated. While Harry's been out here emotionally unraveling, clinging to spare like it's a security blanket, hoping the world will applaud his trauma art, Meghan's been executing a masterclass in quiet detachment. No statements, no defenses, no soft-focused Instagram posts declaring unity over beach sunsets and matching polo shirts. Just silence, sharp, intentional, and louder than any press release. Nothing. Just that eerie, PR-curated silence that doesn't feel like retreat, it feels like setup, because when Meghan goes quiet, she's not hiding, she's plotting. And oh, has she moved? Her brand? It's been quietly, meticulously stripped of Harry, like a bad font getting phased out of a startup's logo. No more Sussex, no more Arch, just American Riviera Orchard. Just her face, just her name. Not a single freckle of ginger in sight. This isn't just a business pivot, it's a surgical separation, rolled out with all the gloss and timing of a luxury product launch. And honestly, Meghan's always been more Apple Keynote than Royal Duty.
Now they're saying they're not even sure if she's going to make more jam. That thing's already dwindling on the vine. Everything she touches turns to shit. And I think every sort of creative person behind her or deep pocket behind her knows it's an extraordinary risk. She's too toxic to touch.
Now she's just quietly deleting the Harry app in the background. Let's not forget, before the tiaras and royal protocols, Meghan was media trained, red carpet ready, and camera savvy. She didn't need the palace to find her spotlight. She needed the palace to borrow its shine. Now that she's done with it, she's polishing her own brand and leaving no trace of we behind. She knows exactly when to hold back and exactly when to leak. And the leaks? Oh, they've been anything but subtle. Suddenly, sources close to Meghan are spinning a new narrative. Harry is emotionally draining, still fixated on royal drama, and this one's a classic, not the man she thought he'd be. Wait, what? She married the guy who's literally branded the spare, who publicly aired his royal wounds in a best-selling memoir, and now she's surprised he's a little intense? Please. This isn't confusion, it's strategy. The emotional exit before the legal one. The slow PR fade from power couple to she tried. Meghan's not drafting a joint statement. She's prepping for a solo Vanity Fair cover, barefoot in a sun-drenched California orchard, dog in one hand, fig jam in the other, talking about healing after a turbulent chapter. It's not about heartbreak, it's about headlines. And here's the kicker. The public might just eat it up, because the second Meghan leans into the peaceful single mom narrative, just trying to rebuild, the sympathy could roll in like it's Oscar campaign season. Meanwhile, Harry's still out here defending their love story, like it hasn't already been quietly archived off Meghan's camera roll. The silence? It's not love, it's foreshadowing. And Meghan, she's not just turning the page, she's already halfway through the next chapter. Harry just hasn't realized the book's been closed, but here's where the plot thickens, and not in the neatly curated way Meghan likely planned. While she's busy manifesting her next billionaire beau and soft launching her solo era with dog biscuits and peach preserves, the timing, the leaks, the silence, it's starting to feel a little too strategic, and people are noticing. Hollywood's not exactly rolling out the red carpet anymore. In fact, the latest buzz? Meghan Markle has officially entered too toxic to touch territory. Yep, the same A-list crowd that once fawned over her Duchess Sparkle is now side-eyeing her from behind their overpriced oat lattes, pretending not to notice her slicing pineapples on Instagram like she's low-key auditioning for a Trader Joe's brand deal. Because here's the thing about billionaires and Hollywood execs. They don't do desperation, especially not the curated, candlelit, soft focus kind. And lately, that's all Meghan's been serving. The whispered leaks from inside her own camp aren't painting her as misunderstood anymore. They're casting her as strategic, not in a powerful boss move kind of way, but in a calculating what's my next play sort of way. Not strong, but tightly scripted. Not graceful, but grasping.
Speaking of the reality show, the cooking show, I saw the same story. She's already tired of selling the jams and jellies. She's like, well, we might restock in 2026. I think there's no demand. I also